Welcome to Prerona Television Canada on behalf of Global Academy of Holistic Leadership and Coaching. We are very happy and very honored to continue our leadership speaker series, and today's our episode 65. And today our topic is leadership and managerial excellence. I will be discussing leadership and management, managing through leadership guidance, leadership and people strategy. As usual, our regular speaker, Advocate Gitomer Rahman, is with us. He is the CEO of IITM and adjunct faculty of Independent University. I now welcome Advocate Gitomer Rahman to continue his session. Thank you very much.
Just 1 second, I'm bringing up the presentation. It's taking a little bit of time for some reason. I don't know exactly why. Okay. Good evening in Canada and good morning in Bangladesh and rest of the world. Welcome back to our leadership series. Today's topic is leadership and managerial excellence. We have been discussing on various issues on leadership and management for the last year. And this topic is actually focusing on our our ability to manage as a leader, as well as having the managerial excellence to lead your particular team. Moving forward, I normally start off with a quotation. So today's quotation is by Jeffrey Gitomer Read. He's saying that management's job is to convey leadership's message in a compelling and inspiring way, not just in meetings, but also by example. The point that we have to focus on is by example. When you are telling people to do certain things, maybe the idea is good, maybe it's very powerful a statement, but if you're not there doing what you're saying by setting example, people will not truly believe in you. People will not truly start thinking that if he or she is doing this, why can't I? So you have to set the tone of your management by doing the things that you are talking about. If you're talking about business ethics, if you're talking about being a value-based organization, then you yourself must be a person of high standing. You must have the capacity to engage with a lot of people. If you are telling people to be very communicative, and if you are not, then what you're saying is not being reflected by your own particular action. So ultimately, your leadership will fail. Your leadership and your managerial excellence are connected. One sits on top of the other, or vice versa. So if you want to lead, you have to be a reasonably good manager as well, vice versa. If you want to be a good manager, you must have leadership skills. So one is affecting the other. So when we are thinking of building our leadership capacity, or when we are thinking of building our managerial capacity, we must take into notice that we have to do things in a way which is reflective of what we are telling people to do. So if I'm talking about efficiency, or if I'm talking about time management, etc., then in both cases, I have to be quick if I'm talking about efficiency. And if I'm talking about time management, I have to be doing things on time. I have to be timely to my duties, etc. So then people will start supporting your system, supporting your belief system, etc. And once you bring people on board with your particular vision, then the ultimate vision of your department, of your organization, will start to flow quicker. So everybody is lined up with the same energy, with the same passion, with the same thrust. Things will move definitely in the right direction. So moving forward, this is by Tom Peters. another management consultant and guru. He's suggesting management is about arranging and telling. Leadership is about nurturing and enhancing. Let's look at the two words in terms of its differences. One is focused on getting things done through available resources and pushing them to do a certain thing. That's management. So you have a certain amount of resources and you're guiding people in order to get certain things done. On the other hand, leadership is about bringing people to a different state of mind where you're nurturing them, you're being a facilitating coach to them, you're enhancing their mindset, you're enhancing their belief system to do even more. So one is slightly more than the other. In managerial capacity, we are focusing on what we have today and how we can use the best how we can best use of those resources that we have today. We might stretch our resources a bit, but we are not completely going out and trying to do something new. In a managerial capacity, you're mostly in a structured environment and you're getting the things done on a professional and efficient way. On the other hand, when we are dealing with leadership issues, we are pushing people beyond the envelope so that the potential for the organization is enhanced through a deliberate and firm commitment to do more than what we have. So if you have certain resources under leadership, you will be pushing them to extend your resources by creating new avenues to gather more resources and then deliver some output. So it's what you have now and beyond. So both are required, because if you are not dealing with your day-to-day affairs from a managerial perspective, then obviously your organization or the department that you're running will not function properly. So while you have to have a very strong focus on what needs to be done on a day-to-day basis, you need to also push the growth curve beyond. That means extend your opportunities, extend your potential by bringing new ideas and new perspectives in. So this is a very powerful statement, and many people sort of cannot distinguish between being a manager and being a leader, but they are very connected while they're also different in their scope of activity, scope of work. So moving forward, this is by Pat Riley. He is saying that management must speak with one voice. When it doesn't, management itself becomes a peripheral opponent to the team's mission. Powerful statement once more. If you are not going out with the same energy and same spirit within your management team, it will show forth in the behavior of your overall organizational structure. It will, the culture of the organization will be not so cohesive. What I am trying to suggest is that once a management decides on certain plan of action, if the total team, the management team, sings in the same tune, then an good opportunity will come in your direction. If people are thinking in different ways, if people are trying to move about in different directions, while a decision has been taken by management, then ultimately chaos will be the end result. Nobody will really know which direction the organization should be headed, or the outcome that you had planned will become delayed because no cohesiveness, no oneness of mind is at play here. So the whole point is, if management decides on certain direction with a certain vision or a certain plan of action, if there is a oneness of mind that we are all in it together and let's give it our best shot, things will work very nicely. Otherwise, it will be in a difficult situation, and often people will be confused, and ultimately the end result will be zero. So we don't want to be in that type of environment. So our focus as management should be either spending some time in brainstorming sessions before you make the ultimate decision. Once you make the ultimate decision, unless something major comes about, which is contrary to the direction that you had set for your organization, unless that type of situation comes about, you need to proceed with full gusto, full energy in the affairs that you had already planned for. This is important. This is actually part of not just management, it is actually part of leadership. A leader makes a rational, logical decision and pushes the team forward with passion, with vigor, with energy, with a complete mindset of achieving the target. That's leadership. That's also managerial excellence. So here, managerial excellence and leadership are very much in line with one another. If you don't have the managerial spirit and the excellence in getting the things done, you will not also have leadership, and you will not be getting the ultimate outcome achieved. So we want to succeed in life, all of you, right? We all want to succeed in life. So start thinking in your own personal life, which areas that you can actually bring forth, which could be strengthened. Focus on those areas, tinker with them, and find a common rationality to move forward and stick to your game plan. If you're sticking to your game plan, you will probably get a better result. Focus, focus, and focus moving forward. This is by Henry Ford, the famous car manufacturer. Coming together is the beginning. Keeping together is progress. Working together is success. Lovely statement. First and foremost, in order to get anything done, one person alone cannot do things. If you're spending your time to create some magical large organization, you can only do so much. You need people support. So bringing people together is a very important component. Think of an organization, think of your own department. You want to get certain things done, but if you don't have the right resources, the right team resources, let's say people resources, your objective will not be achieved. So you have to spend a lot of time getting the right HR within your team functioning at an appropriate level. When all your guns are fired in the right earnest, then ultimately you will see music, you will see an opportunity turning into a realized gain. That means the perspective that you had becomes true to your organization. You had planned for a new project and people worked together because they came together and then achieved the outcome. So keeping people together is another powerful issue, a very important issue in any organizational setup. Many people may come to your organization, whether it's a social organization, business, or political. If you can't keep these people together, then ultimately it's like having a hole in a bucket. You're filling water. The water is your people, but you have the holes, and the holes are the people who are leaving your organization. Ultimately, the net result might not be very positive. So all the effort and energy that you're putting out is coming to zero or low value. So the first points that you have to also focus on, how to cover up those gaps, how to close those holes in your bucket. And that's when progress starts to take place. That's when your organization becomes more efficient, more productive, and they know that things are looking good, things are moving in the right direction. Everyone in an organization feels good when they see progress within their own department or within the overall structure of the organization. And once the progress takes place, people begin to taste success. You, as a professional, need to feel confident that success is within your grip, or you're sitting on success. Remember, success is our destination. Note, the destination keeps shifting once you hit a target. It's like the the hurdles race in a Olympic. You go over each hurdle towards your destination, and if you cross the hurdle without without falling to the ground or letting the hurdles fall to the ground, you've passed through all the hurdles and then you hit the winning rope. That's success. So you have to be very vigilant. You have to be very confident that your team is being brought together with the right passion, with the right type of energy, and then you are ensuring that the progress will take place through making sure they work with productivity, they work along their performance targets, they work along their job responsibilities, and then making the team feel confident and giving them the environment so ultimately they become successful. So this is by Henry Ford, and Ford was one of the most successful companies in the early 21st century, late 20th century. Moving forward, I normally have a definition of mine on leadership, and today's definition is: leadership is about energizing the team through managerial excellence to execute the vision with passion. At the end of the game, vision is the ultimate objective of any organization. If your vision is to be the top performer within your industry segment, and if you achieve your target, then we say that this is a successful organization and it has achieved its target. How do you achieve your target? Obviously, by the people who are employed within your organization. Why would they achieve their target? Because they're following through certain parameters. And what are these parameters? These parameters are set by your management team as to what needs to be done on a daily, weekly, monthly, or yearly basis. And at the same time, the top management is also responsible to create the overall structured environment so that people are constantly energized, people are constantly motivated on a regular basis so that they give out their best. If they feel that this is my enterprise, this is my department, these are my friends and my people, I am part of the game and I need to produce my best outcome, then ultimately the organization will move in a much quicker fashion. And that's the whole spirit. So executing the design in the most practical way with logical flow of people, with the right set of tools, right set of skills, right set of passion will deliver a great organization. So if you're comparing an average organization with a great organization, you will always see that they are so glued to the vision setting of the organization that ultimately the organization is catapulted to the future state which is most appropriate. And these are the type of organization that people truly want to work, because nobody wants to work for a dull and doomed organization. Everybody wants to work for an organization which is moving and shaking. And when we speak of this term moving and shaking, we are really talking about organizations which are striving hard with passion to get to their vision. Once the vision is achieved, they push the vision further. It's like the Apples of the world. Apple has a certain vision, and every few years they achieve their target and they extend their vision even further. So it's a game of achievement through managerial excellence. And the excellence comes about by having the energy that you can implant in the minds of every person. So it's pushing your team member with the right environment and giving them the right energy bolts so that they deliver the best that it can possibly be. So moving forward, leadership and management, again, two terms, but slightly defined in a different way. So what is leadership? Leadership is about creating something new. It's all about innovation, pushing things beyond your capacity and trying to relate to something beyond what is at present in your hand. So it's more futuristic. building from the present, but more futuristic. Management is about ensuring that the system is properly learned. Management is dealing with running things at an appropriate level with the right set of energy and efficiency. Leadership has a broader scope, larger scope, more engaging scope, because you are not just dealing with the current reality, you're looking forward and looking forth onto different aspects of moving your organization in multiple tangential directions. So that's a slightly different focus than managerial decision making. On the other hand, management has a narrower scope because management deals with what you have and maybe slightly more. You can't be dealing with something fantastic, something super normal in the capacity of a manager, because you're given a structure and you need to operate within the structure. But when you're really a leadership position, when you're really in a leadership position, you can break the structure, you can remold the structure, re-engineer the structure, and push forth with a new direction and a new vision. So you are more open to change under leadership than under management. But having said this, both are equally required. If you are an organization and if you're constantly shooting for new ideas all the time and revising your structure on a daily basis, ultimately something will be amiss and you will never get to a destination which you had planned for, because every day is a new day, every day is a day of flux, every day is a day of change. It will be very hard to navigate, it will be very hard to rightly understand what's your purpose in this organization and how you would go about doing your daily work. You will be in a constant confusion as well, so that will not deliver the right output. Whereas if you have a structure, if you have certain roles and responsibilities, and if you're following through those roles and responsibilities in an appropriate fashion, then your management will work more effectively. You will be driven by certain actions, you will deliver certain outputs, and the organization will move based on the cumulative outputs that the team is delivering on a daily basis to the next level. So both are required. One is more important than the other. We cannot say per se, but overall, in a giant sweep of leadership or managerial excellence, leaders are truly the people who transform the organization. Managers also do, but in a smaller capacity. Moving forward, managing through leadership guidance. What does the leader do? The leader is sitting with some coaching mentality. Leader is sitting with some motive to push people to achieve a better outcome. So more of a influencer, more of an opinion shaper, more of a teacher. That's the role of a leader. Leader also tells people, gives people hands-on training at times, but they're more on the avenue, on the area of getting to people to bring their best output by counseling them, coaching them, speaking to them. So these are the things that are needed for a leader to manage their community. Invite discussions and exchange of views. That's something that leaders should be doing on a regular basis. Get people's viewpoints, articulate his or her vision, and also connect back with issues so that they are on the same page. Be self-motivated to guide the team. You as a leader, you have to be very much driven. If you are driven, others will emulate you and the team will be guided in the right earnest. Ensure clarity in communication. You have to be very clear as to what you're saying, what you're doing, what you're projecting. These are important. You can't be in a state of confusion. If you are in a state of confusion, others will not follow you properly. They will be also in a flux. They will also be in a position not really understanding what needs to be done. Foster teamwork and freedom to experiment. Foster teamwork is absolutely essential for a manager as well. You have to be creating the environment so people are delivering their best output. And the freedom to experiment, managers can allow certain freedom. Leaders will have a grander capacity to allow more freedom so they can deal with more new issues, take new opportunities in their hand, maybe fail, but fail quickly so that they can learn quickly and move on. You don't want to fail all the time. You need to fail at times. By failing, you learn more tricks of the trade and you are more energized, you're more confident, and you know next time this is not the right path. You need to move away from this direction and build your enterprise in a slightly different manner. So that is important. So you need to give an environment where people can deliver. At the same time, you also must be allowing an avenue for them to tinker with new things. And in this process, some issues in some areas they may fail, but they can quickly right size their understanding and move forward. So that's important. Introduce a system with controls and checks. These are more managerial perspective, but a leader also needs to have certain controls mechanism within himself or herself in their capacity to lead as a manager as well. So without these systems and checks in the structure, things may go off the line, and it will be very hard for you to pull yourselves out of a glut. So I would say that managers and leaders have complementary duties and responsibilities, but one is more vigilant on doing things on a daily basis, which is the manager, and one is more vigilant on creating the new enterprise, which is the leader. Moving forward, leadership and people strategy. We must mention that without people, no leadership will take flight. So if you want to be a true leader, you have to deal with people. You have to deal with the energy and capacities of people and nurture them and grow them. So what are the things that we have to do on a daily basis to get the people to fire out with the proper strategy? And your end game will also have a people strategy. That means what you need to do with the people of your enterprise or the people whom you will be bringing onto your environment. You have to be connecting the people on a daily basis. All people, all human resources, all stakeholders who are dealing with you must be connected with you in a professional and in a way where they feel confident around you, and be constantly coaching and guiding them, specifically your own team members. Build teams with the right roles assigned. This is more managerial, but leaders must be also understanding that role assignment is needed and everybody has to have a certain role. You just don't hire people and you just don't hire people and keep them in the office without giving them certain tasks. That is costing you money. So you must assign people right away what they would be doing once they are hired, of course, after giving proper training. Encourage communication and introduce brainstorming session. This is absolutely an essential tool for all managers and leaders. You are to be keeping the communication open at all times and having brainstorming sessions so that new ideas, new perspectives, new ways of doing things will pop up. This is more on the leadership angle as well. Then comes being reflective with good listening skills. Absolutely. If you don't have a proper listening skills, if you don't listen from them, then how will you make the judgment call? How will you make the most appropriate decision? So listening to people, not always getting swayed, but wherever there is a logical perspective, you need to incorporate them into your own decision making and then move forward. This will strengthen your decision making capacity. Give credit to where it belongs. Many managers and leaders don't have this mentality. If something gets done, they try to take on the credit onto themselves. Sometimes you can, but most often be a team-spirited person. You say that this is our achievement. We have produced this result. If you're always pointing at yourself, saying that I have done this, I have achieved this, then people will feel left out. If you're getting this feeling, if you're pushing this feeling into your enterprise, then obviously something is not right. So you don't want to be in those type of situations. So you need to give credit to where it belongs and facilitate their growth even further. Urge and offer incentives for work well done. This is in line with the previous statement. You need to incentivize if somebody is doing really well. Give him a promotion, give him a vacation, give him or her something extra so they feel more excited for the job they have done well. So this is nurturing them. This is throwing a little bit of freebies in their direction so they feel more excited and they can show with their team members that, look, this is what I've got. A written letter of appreciation sometimes can take you miles. So all of these are important people strategy that a leader needs to follow through in order to get to a new potential as an organization. So it's all about team game. It's all about nurturing people. It's all about building the fabric in a structured way so people feel confident to deliver the right set of output within the enterprise. Moving forward, I'm at the end of my session. Today's million-dollar question is, should organizations be run with a management mindset or leadership mindset? Very critical question. There is no right answer, but if you are a growing organization, if you are a very fast-moving organization, both are needed, but leadership mindset probably will take you a little bit further. But if you are in a set organization, which is a very old organization, and your customers are pretty much set, although it's never the case, but let's say 80% of your customers are pretty much set, then managing with excellence would be a very important component in keeping your enterprise in a potentially strong financial condition, potentially strong, visible condition in terms of its brand value, etc. So at that point, maybe managerial excellence would be driving the organization further, so to speak. But without leaders in the organization, without a top leader who is appropriately charged, things will not work out. So you can't have a set of good managers and one leader who's of average capacity, then everything will fail. So I would say with conviction that leadership mindset probably would be the most important tool for any organization to move in the right direction. So if you don't have that leadership capacity, you can grow into it. Start thinking of how, as a human being, you can build your own personal quality. And if you're constantly reminding yourself of what needs to be done as a professional, as a leader, then it will show forth in your work habits. It will show forth in your daily assignments that you do. Everybody else will see that, yes, there is certain change and transformation that is taking place in this person. And then you will be able to run your organization in a better, more meaningful way. So I would urge you to start thinking of your managerial and leadership traits and note them down, build on them, read up material, listen to podcasts, listen to trainings, and start filling in those gaps. And then only you will lead in the future. So with that, I would like to end my session, and back to you. Thank you very much for listening in. I'm Advocate Ziaur Rahman, CEO of IITM, adjunct faculty of IUB, and chairman of Shubandhan Development MCS Limited. Thank you very much. Back to you, Edward Probimondo. Edward Probimondo, are you there?
Yes. All right. Thank you very much for your presentation. Today we completed our leadership speaker series, which is 65th episode. And thank you for sharing your thoughts. Please do visit our official YouTube channel. We'll be sharing this video in YouTube channel. We do have, I think, more than 60 videos in our channel. So on leadership, but there are others, around 90 videos are there. So you're welcome to visit those pages. So, and also we'll be sharing our thing in our YouTube page and in social media. We do welcome you to see our series and next week, same time. As you know, this is broadcast is from Canada and Mountain Standard Time at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at 11 p.m. on Wednesday night, and Bangladesh Standard Time at 9 a.m. on Thursday morning, Indian Standard Time at 8:30 a.m. on Thursday morning. With that, thank you very much. Stay safe and stay blessed.